Royal Afternoon Edition, the 2 p.m. news on Royal FM. The last for this week. Definitely not the last for me, not the last for you, and not the last for Royal FM, but the last for the year 2025. Welcome, the headlines. Head of State President Paul Biya will address Cameroonians exceptionally at 7 p.m. today in his traditional end-of-year message to the nation, and Cameroonians have expectations.
I just want him to tell us what he promised us last year, what they have achieved so far.
The President of the Republic should address the Anglophone crisis.
The inhygienic conditions and the roads that they were constructing.
Out of Cameroon, Mali, and Burkina Faso have announced plans to apply reciprocal visa bans to citizens from the United States of America. And in sports, December 31st, 2025, it will be a St. Sylvester night, not like others, as the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon will play their highly anticipated last group game against Mozambique at 8 p.m. this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, those were the headlines. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the 2 p.m. news on Royal FM. My name is Mapalazita. Head of State President Paul Biya will this evening at 7 p.m. exceptionally address the nation in his traditional end-of-year speech, an event which is highly awaited by many political actors in the country. To this effect, Evans Williams and Jobati contacted some of them to get their various expectations ahead of tonight's event and files in this report.
As it is the case every December 31st, Paul Biya, President of the Republic of Cameroon, always uses these evenings to address Cameroonians, his fellow compatriots, an instance extremely awaited by politicians like Full Godfrey, a communications secretary within the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement.
The two elections that just passed, crisis after the election, and how Cameroonians show the quality of responsibility. He will also mention the regional election that end up with victory in CBTM in almost all the 10 regions. He will also mention the national team that shows how responsible they are, and team spirit certainly make a short bilan of what was done in 2025 and what is going to be done in the other few years.
As for others, the speech has lost its fame and value. Edith Kawala and Roger Justin Noir from the Cameroon People's Party and the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, respectively, hold this view.
No. I don't comment President Paul Biya. It's over 15 years with this.
I expect nothing, frankly. I'm going to say tonight, nothing at all, nothing new. He has kept promising projects and new policies to the people of Cameroon, but so far nothing has done. So we don't think that his speech tonight will change anything to our lives or to the political scene of Cameroon, nothing at all.
On the part of Chi Diodone, a political actor within the Social Democratic Front, is just waiting to see the final outcome of this speech.
It's but normal to expect that he articulates on the message that was sent forth by this presidential election of 2025, which is a message of change, on how concretely intends to address the frustrations of Cameroonians. These expectations may be an exaggeration, considering the fact that he has been in power for 43 years now. But then, let's wait and see.
Nevertheless, these politicians will at least affirm that President Paul Biya's New Year Eve address is not only a cornerstone of the political life of the country, but equally carries deep symbolic weight as a state of the nation compiled in a single message.
Evans Williams and Jobati in that report, focusing on the symbolism of the president's annual December the 31st speech. Evans Williams Jobati equally approached the expertise of a political scientist, Dr. Bamjo Herman, who brings out the significance and importance of tonight's event. Take a listen.
It's significant to all Cameroonians because with the economy, with the hardship that people are going through, they want to hear something, prices of basic commodities. They want to hear something in relation to that. They want to hear something in relation the nature of bad roads. We know that there are some roads that are being constructed, but the Cameroonians want to see the president's hand in it. Once he put his hand in it, there are going to be changes. And you have to note that Cameroonians are expecting a lot because the president has been missing from administrative, from public, and the rest. And coupled with the age, Cameroonians want to know whether the president still has that energy to pull the policies through. And you will note that when you pick up his speeches, I happen to have gone through the speeches for the previous years since 2016 to about 2018, you realize that he always has certain sectors that he will want to touch in his speech.
Dr. Bamjo Eman equally reminds us that there will be a lot on the table since Head of State Paul Biya will be making a balance sheet of 2025.
He evaluates the year and identify what went wrong and what went right, the achievements of the government for the year, and of course pinpoint the challenges that the country is facing. And these challenges stem from security issues, economic issues, and of course social issues. And then he is also able to point out the global issues or the issues on global ground that are having a spillover effect in Cameroon. While he's doing this evaluation, he also has some time to be able to do what he anticipates, what he has planned, what the government has planned for the next 1 year. It is quite significant because from there, government ministers, the various sectors align to some of the ideologies that he is bringing in. Once he's able to do the anticipation, all the government sectors now align their policies to those anticipation that he has made.
Now, the President of the Republic comes out to address his citizens this evening, and many have been sharing their expectations from today's speech. Their wishes cut across several domains that directly affect their standard of living. Our reporter Glory Gange has been speaking to some of them and now brings the details.
As a tradition in the life of the country, Cameroonians home and abroad are looking forward to hear from President Paul Biya with hopes that their challenges will find solutions.
What I'm expecting from the head of state speech is simply honesty. I just want him to tell us what he promised us last year, what they have achieved so far. For example, in my location here, we didn't have light the whole of yesterday. These are things that when there's no light in an area, they should promise us that Cameroonians will not stay for so long in darkness. Or water. Water will be something accessible. Basic necessities, that's what we want.
Apart from the basic necessities, the socio-economic and infrastructural situation of the country also needs attention, as these citizens highlight.
Let the president also look at the socio-economic development of the country in general. We still have problems of roads in remote areas, in villages.
One of the things I expect to hear from him is how to provide job opportunities for the youth and unhygienic conditions like the trash people throw on the roadside and the roads that they were constructing during erection, how they are going to complete it.
Solutions to the ongoing socio-political crisis in the two English-speaking regions, as well as the growing problem of teachers which resurfaced during this year, are also listed among the expectations.
The President of the Republic should address fully the issue concerning the Anglophone crisis that has been affecting our country for a very long time now. We still have a problem of teachers. Some teachers are not yet recruited. You know the problem of so many teachers in the country who don't have a matricle yet, and you know how difficult their lives can be. So we hope that the President can address such issues.
Nonetheless, others have remained indifferent as they highlight the persistence of challenges that have not been resolved within the years.
Regarding the heads of state and of speech this evening, I'm not really expecting anything from there. I don't think there'll be anything that we knew that he hasn't said already before, like during his inaugural speech when he took over this mandate, and added to the fact that the problem which I've been expecting him to bring out concrete solutions to solve, which is the Anglophone crisis, hasn't been solved up till now.
As usual, President Paul Biya will today in his speech highlight key socio-political, economic and major activities within the year 2025 and projections for 2026.
And Cameroonians are about to celebrate New Year in less than 24 hours. But before the traditional end of year speech by Head of State Paul Biya will come up at 7 p.m. Now, after a year of harsh economic conditions, business operators and entrepreneurs are concerned by what they deem as another empty address with promises that will never be fulfilled. Da Aristine is owner of an electronic shop in who is one of them. He spoke on the microphone of our reporter Jeffrey Tachum.
Normally, they don't just give money like that. It is true that I myself, I need money, but I love my country more in the sense that I do not expect them to give me money like that. For us to be a serious country, when you want to give money, there should be real, defined, and precise objectives. State is giving out money. What's the purpose? How is the state going to recover that money? Because every money given out should come back to the state so that more things should be done for the benefit of all. We have to have a plan. People with serious projects. People who've started projects and who are seeing that yes, they can prove to us that no, in the next phase, this is what we will need. This is what we are lacking to move from this phase to this phase. All these are people who have not even started any phase, but their project seems concrete. Rent. Because to an extent, I have the impression that the government is not regulating well the domain of commercial rent. No, there's nothing I think that he should take. For me, I just want him to resign. If he resigns, surely everything will be going forward now. He's not capable of doing anything.
It is worth noting that a special platform comes up this evening on Royal FM as from 6 p.m. to evaluate the year 2025 while awaiting President Paul Biya's address to the nation. And immediately after his speech, the sports team will take over for the Cameroon-Mozambique encounter. Still to come in this newscast, we ask Cameroonians how they plan to celebrate St. Sylvester today and, of course, New Year Day tomorrow.
Of course, I will be in church for the crossover night.
I'll spend crossover at home with my family. We will just have a little prayer. Then that's at midnight, after shouting Happy New Year and everything. Then on New Year Day, we will go to church.
Welcome back. If you are just tuning in, you are listening to the 2 p.m. news on Royal FM and watching us live on YouTube at Royal FM Cameroon. Today, December the 31st, is New Year's Eve, the last day of the year, which many seize the opportunity to attend special events, notably crossover in churches, crusades, or spending these last hours with families and friends. Fringwe Crispin, our head of Reporters Brigade, interviewed some Cameroonians on how they intend to spend New Year's Eve and put together this report.
Majority of Cameroonians we came across, especially Christians, have opted to spend these last hours of the year 2025 giving God all the praises for seeing them through the year.
My first over will be in church. I put for church service just to surrender the year 2026 to God.
What I'm really preparing to enter the new year today is to praise God, giving all the glory, all the adoration to Him because He's so good, so kind to keep me alive up to this day. And I'm praying that He should continue to make me cross over the new year and to lead me into the new year in the right way and make me to obey Him.
While others head to churches for crossover services, Susie on her part will spend the New Year Eve with family.
We will just have a little prayer. Then that's at midnight, after shouting Happy New Year and everything. Then on New Year Day, we will go to church and come back and fellowship as a family. So today is basically for like final touches in preparation for tomorrow.
And as for the New Year's Day celebration, Myra and Alexandra Grace review.
The new year equally begins with a mass. I will go to the mass, then I will have lunch around 12 noon. Usually the lunch for the new year is very light and very interesting. It's equally the day we get to meet some family members, visit some friends, and have other friends coming by and we try to look forward to the new year.
Meantime, in Christianity, New Year's Eve offers deep spiritual meaning beyond secular revelry, focusing on reflection, renewal, gratitude, and new beginnings.
And less than 24 hours to New Year celebration, the atmosphere in most markets across the city of Yaoundé is electric, with bustling and people rushing to buy foodstuffs for the feasting day. In Yaoundé, these markets are vibrant hubs of fashion, offering various shopping experiences. Jeffrey Tachum caught up with some traders and customers and compiled the following report.
The year 2025 is about to wrap up, and this is the time where business transactions in marketplaces are at their peak. But for some traders, finding customers seems to be a hard time in this festive period.
By this time, customers were like rushing and population of the market, but this time around, things are really slow. The market is dry. People are not like coming to even buy everywhere. People are complaining of hard times and all the like, no money to buy things. The price of things keeps increasing. It's really disturbing us because you want to afford something and you don't have the money because you don't have really customers coming to buy your own things and all the like. So we are still hoping though. We are hoping.
Meanwhile, customers who venture into shopping in markets like that of Essos in Yaoundé have to face the reality of price hikes.
Some of the prices are increasing, like some are constant. Like these coffee beans are bought the same price. But I'm going to buy plantain, I don't know how much you're going to sell it. The prices might increase or reduce. I mean they sell according to the seller. Yes, due to the Christmas now, the Christmas, some prices of goods are increasing.
And this oil vendor faces a similar situation.
Oh, la mer. Le poisson. 500. People they are still buying, although they are complaining. They are complaining, but they are buying now, so there's no problem. That is expensive. There are times like that when the price is good, and there are times that the price is bad. I can sell 1 liter like to gain 100 francs.
For the regular Cameroonian household, this situation is a manifestation of the economic conditions in the country, which has compelled them to reconsider their budget and adjust expenditures.
Out of Cameroon, Mali and Burkina Faso have announced their plans to apply reciprocal visa bans to citizens of the United States, weeks after President Donald Trump included the West African countries in an expanded travel ban list. In separate letters shared last evening, both countries emphasized that the new measures were aimed at applying the same rules to Americans traveling to their countries as their citizens face when traveling to the USA. Military leader General Mamadi Doumbouya has been declared winner of Guinea's presidential election, thus according to incomplete results released late on Tuesday, which gave him 87% of the votes counted so far. The vote is the first presidential election since the coup that ousted President Alpha Condé in 2021 and is widely seen as a means of legitimizing Doumbouya's stay in power. Turkey's government says it has detained more than 100 ISIS suspects in nationwide raids as the group shows signs of intensified regional activity after a period of relative dormancy. Turkey's Interior Minister Ali Yelikaya announced today's arrest is on a social media post saying that Turkish authorities rounded up 125 suspects across 25 provinces, including Ankara. The operation is the third of its kind in less than a week during this holiday season. We come back to talk sports after this break. Sportsman viewer Brian has joined me. Good afternoon, Brian.
Good afternoon, Mapalazita.
We take our special page.
AFCON 2025 Morocco, a special page in the news.
Brian, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon are set to conclude their group stage campaign at the African Cup of Nations today. The team is scheduled to face the Mambas of Mozambique at 8 p.m. Cameroonian time, and you have a preview of that encounter.
With 4 points and a ticket to the knockout round already secured, the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon are going into the set encounter this evening with an advantage. However, Coach Pago David, head coach of the Indomitable Lions, in a pre-match press conference held yesterday, stressed that they will give in their 100% best to grab all 3 points against the Mambas. The Lions' performance in the tournament have been mixed so far, with a narrow 1-0 win over Gabon, followed by a 1-1 draw against the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. Mozambique, on the other hand, are flying high after making history with their first ever AFCON win against Gabon on Sunday with a dramatic 3-2 victory. The landmark result has secured their first ever progression to the knockout stage of the African Cup of Nations, ensuring they will finish at least as one of the best third-place teams in the competition. Here's what Cameroonians expect ahead of this blockbuster.
Our mission should be winning. We should win Mozambique. It's true, if we don't win Mozambique, we still stand a good chances of qualifying with 4 points, like coming out like a best loser. But coming out as a best loser is not what we want.
I expect a game very intense, very tough and entertaining. Both sides have met 6 times in the past, with Cameroon securing 5 victories and just 1 defeat. I want to see a team with a fighting spirit, with a Hemley. Like, Cameroon should keep the momentum up. They should keep to their name, like continue the run by beating Mozambique even 5-1 or 5-0 today.
Of course, like any other Cameroonian, I expect a victory from the Indomitable Lions. You know, Cameroon at this point, they are nursing hopes of winning the trophy, and when you are nursing hope of winning the trophy, you should be ready to face any nation, be it South Africa, Nigeria, be it any nation that they will be facing in the next round. I think the Indomitable Lions have proven that they can go all the way, so there shouldn't be any challenge. Right now, from what Coach David Pago said, it's one game at a time and the objective is to finish top of the group.
It's very possible. The only problem we had, the only team that was to disturb Cameroon was Cote d'Ivoire. Any other team ahead of us, I don't see them blocking us from not winning or getting to the finals.
Brian, the 16 teams qualified for the knockout stage are already known, and among them are 2 debutants.
Tanzania and Mozambique are the new boys at the knockout stage of the African Cup of Nations. The said teams qualified as for the very first time in their history of this competition. For Tanzania, the team made history by reaching the knockout stage of the African Cup of Nations for the first time. A hard-fought 1-1 draw against Tunisia yesterday, December 30, secured their place in the last 16, 45 years after their maiden appearance in the tournament. Despite never having won an AFCON match in their history across 4 appearances, 2 draws and 1 defeat in the group stage was sufficient for the Taifa Stars to advance as one of the 4 best third-place teams, edging out Angola on goal difference. They will face the host country, Morocco, in their first knockout round on Sunday, January 4, 2026. The members of Mozambique, on the other hand, secured their qualification after a result in other groups mathematically confirmed their progression as one of the best third-place teams in the competition. Mozambique's journey in the 2025 AFCON in Morocco has been one of resilience and breaking long-standing records. First, in the 17th AFCON match across 6 African Cup of Nations appearances, the Mambas finally registered their first ever victory by defeating Gabon 3-2 on December 28, 2025, ending a 16-game winless streak in this competition. Notably, the team's place at the 16th round of the African Cup of Nations mathematically was confirmed without them playing their final match, as result in other groups ensured they would be amongst the top third-place teams.
The Ugandan Cranes have suffered a bizarre and goalkeeping meltdown during their final AFCON group match on Tuesday, using all 3 registered keepers in a 3-1 defeat to Nigeria, Brian.
The Ugandan Cranes were forced to use all 3 of their registered goalkeepers during their 3-1 loss to the Super Eagles of Nigeria yesterday in Morocco. The unusual sequence began just before halftime when a legendary captain who doubles as goalkeeper, 40 years of age, Dennis Ayonga, was forced off with an ankle injury. His replacement, Salim Mungwa, entered for the second half but lasted only 11 minutes before being sent off with a direct red card for deliberately handing a ball outside the penalty area. This forced the introduction of the third-place goalkeeper, Nafian Alonzi, in the 59th minute, and despite the numerical disadvantage, the goalkeeping crisis did not make the Ugandan Cranes to lose the set encounter. The defeat at the Complexe Sportif de Fes officially eliminates Uganda from the 2025 African Cup of Nations, while the Super Eagles of Nigeria have advanced from Group C as the winners with a perfect record, standing as the only team who has so far won 3 of their 3 games at the group stage of this year's edition of the AFCON.
AFCON 2025 Morocco, that was a special page in the news.
And with that special page outing, let's welcome Francine Ateba into the studio with a summary of this newscast in the French language. Bon après-midi, Francine.
Good afternoon, Mapalazita. Le président Paul Biya s'adresse à la nation tout entière ce 31 décembre 2025 à 19h dans le cadre de son traditionnel discours. Un moment clé pour la classe politique qui attend avec intérêt les annonces et les orientations du chef de l'État pour l'année 2026. Sur le plan symbolique, le discours du président de la République tous les 31 décembre est un moment fort qui me permet de renforcer les liens entre le chef de l'État et son peuple. À l'étranger, le Mali et le Burkina Faso ont décidé de riposter aux États-Unis en appliquant le principe de réciprocité après l'annonce des restrictions d'entrée sur le territoire américain. Concrètement, les Américains devront désormais satisfaire aux mêmes exigences et que celles imposée aux Maliens et aux Burkinabés pour l'obtention d'un visa américain. Cette décision fait suite à la proclamation du président américain Donald Trump qui a ajouté le Mali, le Niger et le Burkina Faso à la liste des pays soumis à des interdictions sévères en matière de visa. CAN de football 2025. La phase de poule s'achève ce soir au Maroc. 4 affiches sont au programme. À 17h, la Guinée équatoriale sera aux prises avec l'Algérie. Le Soudan, de son côté, fera face au Burkina Faso. À partir de 20h précises, la Côte d'Ivoire va jouer avec le Gabon. Au même moment, les Lions indomptables défieront les Mambas du Mozambique. Cette dernière affiche est prévue au stade Agra de la cité d'Agadir. Une rencontre importante pour le leadership camerounais et la qualification du Mozambique en 8e de finale.
And we call it a wrap for today's edition of the Royal Afternoon Edition. That's the last for the year 2025. The 2 p.m. news was technically assisted by Salomon Esana. Jeffrey Tachum did the production with collaboration from Glory Gange. Script editing and editorial coaching Abel Bella Samari. Central coordination Roger Kiek, our station manager, and general supervision by the Reverend Pastor Bisai Emmanuel Noel. For news editing and presentation, my name is Mapala Zita. Thanking you all for staying tuned to Royal FM throughout the year and wishing you a wonderful and prosperous New Year 2026 as we meet tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go away. Up next is a special program just for you on Royal FM, and that is New Year coming soon with Freeway Crispin. Good afternoon, Crispin.
Good afternoon, Mapalazita.
New Year coming soon. What's on the menu?
On the menu today, we are going to allow our listeners, callers, and give us the different lessons they have learned for the year 2025.
Wow.
And also few hours to the new year 2026. What are their resolutions? Yes, what do they intend to achieve in 2026? They have just few hours to enter, and I hope they have resolutions already, else so our airwaves are going to be open, our lines are going to be available for your calls, and also you'll be able to call and wish your family members, your loved ones, wheresoever they are, a happy new year.